Hello everyone, and now welcome to another game. This game between WFZ versus Moon, taking place here on Twisted Meadows. Over here on the top right hand side of the map, we have Moon spawning as the Blue Night Elf. On the bottom left hand side of the map, we have WFZ spawning as the Red Undead. Once again, my apologies. For some reason, animations are not loading properly on my map. Altar of Darkness here, Crypt here, Ziggurat most likely here, Tomb of Relics may be placed down across here. On the other side, we see an Ancient of War being built, and that Ancient of War is actually a little bit further south than I would have expected it for Moon. It looks like it is going to try and go after this Ogre Magi creep camp, and this is an Altar of Elders as well, so we could be looking at perhaps a Keeper of the Grove trying to use archers and trying to do a fast expand. Now, Moon is known for his fast expansions. Moon, also known as the Fifth Race, plays Night Elf in such a way that it actually seems a little bit strange. That's why it's almost like saying you're playing against Night Elf, but you're going up against Moon, so all of your normal counters really don't work. I believe Moon is the only Night Elf player that can consistently be able to get expansions, and there doesn't seem to be anything opponents can really do about it. WFZ, well, he does know Moon likes to expand, so I am expecting him to do a proper bit of scouting. Acolytes and Ghoul, actually Acolyte and Ghoul already making their way out across the map here. We are going to see a lone Wisp making its way out here as well, as we are going into double Wisp for repairs. There is that Keeper of the Grove. Are we going to train up another archer? No, we are not. This is going to be a solo archer clearing out, and this could be bad news if this Ghoul actually catches sight of the Keeper of the Grove making its way down. Well, Ghoul now making its way over, and WFZ does it spot this? I do believe so. There's the double Wisp. And here is the problem. All right, let's take a look. Keeper of the Grove is going to make its way over, trying to cause a little bit of problems here. Ancient of War already trying to do a bit of repairs. Ents making their way over. More Ents should be coming across over here in just a moment. This Archer is going to be in a very bad spot as the Ents are joining in on the fight. Death Knight going to be, well, trying to put in a lot of pressure, and WFZ is just hoping to punish Moon for this very, very greedy expansion attempt this early on in the game. Alright, let's take a look at this. Ancient of War could end up getting taken down. We see some repairs already. Archer trying to get away. Let's take a look. Death Coil onto a single Wisp. And Snare there as well. Ancient of War could take more damage. Death Knight has gotten only a little bit of experience. That ensnare onto that Wisp, causing major problems as the Ancient of War will get taken down at the hands of a skeletal minion. There it goes, finally taken down there. Death Knight now with a little bit more experience again. Death Coil onto the Wisp as well. And you see Keeper of the Grove has really paid for that expansion attempt, losing an Ancient of War, losing two Wisp right there, as the units now make their way back off to the north. Now, the Death Knight only used one charge of that Rod of Necromancy, but he's in a terrible location. It doesn't look like he can really get that far, as the Keeper of the Grove may get some easy experience off of these skeletal minions here. Alright, Tree of Life expansion attempt already underway. Skeletal minion has now... Hi, Michael. Now scouted out the Tree of Life and should be able to put a bit of pressure as the Death Knight now wandering back here. All right, there are also Wisp every single corner of the map. Watch your every video since 2015. Great job. Thank you. I need like 100,000 more viewers like you. And maybe I would, or maybe my wife would be able to retire, because my wife keeps on talking like, hey, I want you to get rich so I can retire. Maybe that's my game plan. Anyways, Death Knight now heading back off to the north here. A little bit of damage being absorbed. And, well, the Keeper of the Grove with those two Ents going to be able to put a lot of pressure on that Death Knight. Death Knight, however, is getting experience away from all the action with the help of Ghouls creeping from a very long distance. Death Knight now making its way back here. Forest Troll, Shadow Priest, Forest Troll, Berserker. What is happening here? Oh, Forest Troll, Berserker could perhaps get some easy damage onto a Ghoul or two. Death Coil does save one. Let's take a look. Skeletal minions. Is it going to try and go after this Null Overseer? Death Knight wants to get this Null Overseer. Death Coil saves once more as the Forest Troll Berserker. Let's take a look at this. Who is actually going to get that final shot there? Death Knight, 63 damage. The Forest Troll Berserker is just saying, hey, hey, hey. I can throw 2 axes. Who's gonna get the next 2 shots there? Oh, skeletal minion. There you go. Death Knight gets the Circlet of Nobility. Keeper of the Grove now rounding the corner, gonna get himself into harm's way. Forest Troll Shadow Priest right there as well as the Forest Troll Berserker now looking to dive back. All right, entangle onto the Death Knight. Death Knight, oh, could have gotten a 4 unit surround onto that Keeper of the Grove. Extremely close right there as the Death Knight, well, putting pressure back onto that Keeper of the Grove. It looks like the expansion will be coming up. Ready to go. Meanwhile, Wisp are trying to pull back, and this is perfect by Moon. Moon knows that he's going to have an economic advantage soon, and somehow he's been able to hire mercenaries while expanding and teching. This is one of those things where when you watch professional players, you look at their resources and you just think to yourself, how do you have that much gold to be able to do all of these things at the same time? 2 Forest Troll Shadow Priests, 2 Forest Troll Berserkers here ready to go. Keeper of the Grove now going to make its way back down, perhaps try and aggro the creeps a little bit more, hire up some more mercenaries from that mercenary camp. I believe that is going to be the situation. No other reason than to do that, or nope, trying to get them away from all of that there. Ogre Warrior now making a quick round around the corner, taking a lot of damage. Let's take a look. Forest Troll, High Priest, Forest Troll Berserkers, all with high damage. The Force of Nature absorbing a lot of that damage here as the Keeper of the Grove gets to level 3. Back down to the south, the expansion is already up and running as we are looking now at Death Knight with Vampiric Aura and Mass Gargoyles. WFZ transitioning away. He is doing dual Crip Mass Gargoyles, which is a little bit of a head scratcher for me, especially since he's seen his opponent already go for Forest Troll Berserkers. Forest Troll Berserkers and Archers, well, they do extremely well against gargoyles. Now the Keeper of the Grove, his auto attack ability not going to be that great. The Ents on the ground not going to be able to do that much, but it's also going to be backed up by a Panda. All right, Panda can do a lot of damage here with that Breath of Fire, and what this game may come down to are these corner creep camps. Oh, actually no, the corner creep camps have been changed. I forgot. They are now only red dragon whelps. There is not a red drake there. In the past, there was a high call for anti-air, and gargoyles did exactly that. They were able to deal so much damage and clear out that air unit so quickly, but this is the new Twisted Meadows where those creep camps in the corners are changed, making it easier for other races that don't have just mass anti-air to clear out those locations. Moon gonna be taking a nice advantage into the mid game here. He already sits level 3 on his Keeper of the Grove, almost level 4. Panda will get to level 2 off of this creep camp. Meanwhile, let's take a look at this. It is gonna be an expansion attempt by WFZ in this corner of the map, dropping off a couple of units. Obsidian statues are going to be here as well. Devotion Aura, Vampiric Aura, what is this really going to look like? That is my big question as we now see the engagement. All right, Boulder right there. Well, the red dragon whelps pretty much taken down in an instant. Death Knight going after the remaining units here. Boulder onto the Gargoyle. Gargoyle gets a Death Coil to try and stay alive. And, well, the Thunderclap type ability from that Granite Golem doesn't hit the Gargoyles since they are in the air. Low hit point Ghoul now being forced to retreat back. A Necropolis has been summoned here. We are going to be haunting this gold mine, and this ninja expansion. This ninja expansion by WFZ may catch his opponent completely off guard. All right, 1 Acolyte left. The Zeppelin, Obsidian statues, ghouls have made their way back out. 50 over 70, 50 over 70. And this is one of those situations where if you don't realize your undead opponent has an expansion, you end up making very bad trades. Not knowing that the economic resources of your opponent can cause you to miscalculate and misjudge the size of your opponent's army, the size of their tech, and how quickly they can recover. let's take a look at this. Panda already sitting at level 3 though, sold a 300 gold item. Not quite sure what that was. Meanwhile, Goblin Zeppelin, oh, is it going to get taken out? Let's take a look. Keeper of the Grove could be in trouble. Gargoyles are right here. And let's take a look. A lot of damage. Frost Nova, Death Coil. Is it going to be enough to finish it off? It could be extremely close. Down to 300 or 166 before it gets taken down. Wisp now finished off here. Death Knight could go after this particular creep camp, and what you may even try to do is haunt this gold mine just so your opponent thinks that he has shut down your expansion. But he's looking for an expansion right now, and by setting up a gold mine here, you're almost offering up an expansion to the gods, so to speak. Like, you know what, or an expansion to Moon. If Moon sees the expansion, he'll be like, oh good, I shut it down, I'm good. I'm not going to look for it look for a third base nearly as much, as sometimes that is absolutely necessary. Necropolis, Ziggurats now getting into play here. Let's take a look. Moon setting up his own third base as the Keeper of the Grove trying to dive on in. Alright, Force of Nature joining in on the fight. Ghoul, that one Ghoul is going to get finished off very easily. We may see another Entangle. All these units are now fighting their way through. Gargoyles are going to have a very bad day though, going up against a Panda, as the Panda, as you know, that Breath of Fire can deal so much damage so quickly. Archer now taken down. Death Coil finishing off. Death Knight now sitting up to level 4. And this is the downside of these creeps. Creeps generally have lower hit points. So what Death Coil Frost Nova from the Undead army can really put on a lot of pressure. Meanwhile, Keeper of the Grove going to come across inside here. Scroll of Town Portal trying to get away. Is it going to be able to get away now? That yes, it will be able to do exactly that. The Ents are still here. It looks as though free experience around, as the ghouls will be able to finish it off. Acolytes still dancing a bit around as we are getting up our third base by Moon. Death Knight sitting at level 4, Lich sitting at level 3, Scroll of Restoration, 300 hit points, and this is something that was dropped over here. If your opponent actually clicks on you and you see this very, very high level consumable item, you know that you have actually cleared out, your opponent has cleared out one of those corner locations, and you gotta be a little bit careful there. Alright, we're gonna see a Breath of Fire. Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire, all the units hiding off in the corner. They are gonna be taking damage over time. Death Knight now shows up to the party, gonna be able to finish off another unit here. Death Knight now trying to finish off more units, as the Tree of Life could end up getting finished off as well. Death Knight still causing problems. Panda, Drunken Haze, is it gonna be able to Breath of Fire? No, it is not. Unable to find the target. As you can see, Death Coil saving some targets there. Meanwhile, Panda, low on mana, gonna have a little bit of a problem. Let's see, is this Tree of Life gonna get taken down? It is rooted right now, as we see Death Coil Frost Nova Scroll Potion of Healing in time, as the Gargoyles are trying to finish off that last unit. Death Knight now trying to get away. Lich could be in trouble, down to 33. Forced to use the Scroll of Restoration at a situation where he didn't want to in order to save that Lich. Lich was down sub 300 hit points. Obsidian statues now back out. That Scroll of Restoration was exactly what the Lich needed, but I'm sure he would have liked it to be in a much more aggressive, much more fruitful situation. Not, I need to use this Scroll of Restoration like a potion of healing. Goblin Shredder is now out. Let's take a look back down across over here. This Tree of Life a little bit too far away, and we are going to be looking at Goblin Sappers making their rounds, as well as as we see a quick detonation. All right, Scroll of Town Portal now making their way in, or is that a Scroll of Teleportation? There is the Scroll of Town Portal. Dryads are all right there. Lich could be in trouble. Drunken Haze. However, the Gargoyles actually getting a little bit of a lucky break by the pathing. The Panda unable to get to its target. Meanwhile, all the units need to head back once more. Death Knight down to 304 hit points, looking to head back again. Goblin Sappers on the far side of the map. Perhaps they can take down some Moonwells in a different location and cause some disruption on the other side of the map. That could be a potential problem as well. Tree of Life is right there. Gargoyles now making its way off to the north. 71 supply compared to 54, as this expansion is mining away. You can see an Acolyte perhaps should be trying to expand or mine this location as well. All right, Keeper of the Grove going after the orb. This unit here, Death Knight, is going to be able to head back. Unholy Aura, Vampiric Aura, Death Knight now trying to head back here. Drunken Haze, Potion of Lesser Invulnerability will keep it alive. Meanwhile, Gargoyles going after the Tree of Life off over here is going to be able to finish off that Tree of Life. That is a big if, as the Lich taking a lot of damage, could get taken down. Death Coil going to try and save it. Scroll of Town Portal is right there. Gargoyles could try and, well, make it worth it just a little bit by taking down a Dryad in the trade. All right. It looks as though an Acolyte was taken down here, enough to make it look as though, hey, you know, I tried to expand, no real luck. There are multiple Goblin Sappers inside the base of WFZ. Will those Goblin Sappers actually find a target? That is the question. Death Knight Lich making its way back out again. We are still sitting, I believe, at tier 2. No, we are finally at tier 3, and we go into Crypt Lord. All right, Crypt Lord. This strategy, Death Knight Lich, Crypt Lord with Gargoyles, really from 2005, the old Undead tri-hero, Impale being such a powerful ability. All right, Dryad trying to get away. Is it going to be able to get there? More Goblin Sappers coming here. Obsidian statues providing more than enough healing. Gargoyles show up to the party as well. There goes a Dryad as the Goblin Sappers going to try and... Is it going to be able to find their target? Yes, it does. Gets the Ancient Protector and the Tree of Life. Battle now raging on. However, Breath of Fire going to cause some serious problems here as the Panda now finally low on mana. Repairs already underway. There goes... Oh, no Staff of Preservation saves. Panda losing some mana. Gargoyles, Dryads, Crypt Fiends are out onto the field. Let's take a look. Abomination, no Disease Cloud though, as the Death Knight going to be trying to go after some additional targets. All right, Lich, low on hit points. Is it going to be able to stay alive? Death Coil saves a Lich as the Death Knight still wandering back around. Let's take a look. Panda down to 500 some odd hit points. Are we going to get an Impale onto that Panda as we see the Lich get up to level 4? All right, taking down some more units, trying to finish off more units. Destroyers are right here as the Crypt Lord low on mana. What is it doing? It is just engaging right now as we are looking at the Keeper of the Grove is also sitting at level 5. All right, some engagement could be ready here. Let's take a look. Gargoyles looking to back away. Expansion still mining away. There are plenty of bases being mined by Moon, but Moon does not have this game as of yet. Upgrades, 2-1 upgrades compared to 0-0. Very big advantage right there. Let's take a look back across here. A lot of damage being absorbed by that Panda. The Panda with over 700 mana. Pendant of Energy and Pendant of Mana causing some major problems as you see all the units now backing up. Well, the issue is the number of Dryads currently out in play. That makes hero nuking not really possible. Panda is right here. Keeper of the Grove is right here as well. Take a quick look, sees that there is no expansion. And at this point, I don't know if Moon knows about this expansion here, and Moon may have just thought, you know what, I just need to have more bases than my opponent, and I'm fine. Speaking of more bases, another Tree of Life being built here, close to the 11 o'clock location, close to the starting location of this particular base. Meanwhile, Crypt Lord heading off to the north. Is it going to try and go after this Ogre Lord creep camp? I do believe so. Going after all of these units. Abomination, Death Coil should try and heal up that Abomination. You need a lot of heals to get that up and running. Obsidian statues are here as well. Death Knight, yeah, Death Coiling, trying to save up some of those units as we could be getting into an engagement in just a moment. Now, the problem right now for Moon is that Moon is not really able to spend any more of his gold. He has 3,000 gold in the bank. I gotta believe that he's maxed out on, well, he has good items, and he also has good upgrades, 3-1 upgrades, now getting 3-2 upgrades as well. Back down to the south, Keeper of the Grove. Panda now making its way down inside here. Going to try and clear up everything. Breath of Fire across multiple units and hitting the buildings. Acolytes could be in a little bit of trouble. Shades are back here, getting as much curse as possible as the Keeper of the Grove is just eating up all of these units. Crypt Lord now coming back down inside here. Panda coming in a little bit of trouble. Staff of Preservation saves some units. We could see some Devour magic as to to try and save up some of those units. Again, as you can take a look, more units just getting eaten alive. Keeper of the Grove, where did it go? It looks like it was able to get back out of a tough spot. Meanwhile, Dark Ranger, a third hero coming in from Moon, as this mass Dryad army, unless there are more Crypt Fiends, will be difficult to handle. Necropolis, followed by Acolytes being built here at the 9 o'clock location. Death Knight, Crypt Lord, Lich here, ready to go. Lich with that Orb of Corruption, able to deal so much damage as well. Meanwhile, Goblin Shredder, Tree of Life, this expansion, is it worth trying to take out? That is a lot of Crypt Fiends out onto the field. 2-0 upgrades. Banshees are here. Abominations do have Disease Cloud, and that should be, well, fairly useful here as the Death Knight now goes after the Ancient Protectors. Alright, Crypt Lord maxed out on mana. As you see, also the Destroyers going after that. Goblin Shredder, this Crypt Fiend should not be standing that close to a Tree of Life. Meanwhile, there goes the Goblin Shredder now. Alright, Destroyers are all here, ready to go. Crypt Fiends here, ready to go. 78 supply compared to 84. WFZ actually with the larger army by far, considering the number of bases on the map, as we're going to see a Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire across the entire backside. Death Knight, are we going to be looking at a Scroll of Town Portal, a timely exit? Impale should finish off many of those wisps. We're going to try and get away he does. Panda sitting at level 5. Ents all here ready to go. Meanwhile, let's take a look. The expansion is up and running. Ziggurats are trying to get built. WFZ with that Ninja Corner expansion really perhaps throwing Moon off. Or Moon has to know about it now, but he may have made some miscalculations earlier. WFZ now with the larger army and with 3,000 gold. Let's take a look at current resources. 3,000 compared to 747. Well, no, Banshee does not block that. It actually blocks Entangle and Breath of Fire. All right, Panda now trying to come across here, trying to perhaps finish off some units. Panda in a little bit of trouble, trying to get away. Will be able to head back there. Meanwhile, Crypt Lord still, well, no, silence across multiple units. Breath of Fire. You can see the anti-magic shell trying to really protect from that level 5 Panda's Breath of Fire. A little bit of healing getting underway again as Dryads are starting to get taken down. Anti-magic shell really protecting from that Panda. Once again, Death Knight, Death Coil, Frost Nova. Let's take a look. Panda gets finished off, and with the Panda gone, perhaps the Crypt Fiends can stay alive, but many of those Crypt Fiends are already low on hit points. They are going to go ahead and burrow. Anti-magic shell on the Crypt Lord. Crypt Lord now getting up to level 3. Death Knight sitting at level 5 over here. Could get a Death Coil, Frost Nova off onto that Keeper of the Grove, but it does have Potion of Lesser Vulnerability and a Scroll of Town Portal. Death Knight, Death Coil onto the Bear. Frost Nova melts it. And Moon has been sitting on so much gold, but unable to really spend it by being afraid of going into higher upkeep. And now he has 4,000 gold with less army. He will be able to rebuild that fairly fast. Meanwhile, over here, the Acolytes are starting to mine away. One more Acolyte could get there in just a second. Keeper of the Grove sitting at level 5. Death Knight sitting at level 5. As Crypt Lord and really the Banshee's anti-magic shell really made a big difference, keeping all of those Crypt Fiends alive, allowing that army of Crypt Fiends to put pressure onto those Dryads. The Dryads with that unarmored armor type taking so much damage from the Crypt Fiends' 3-0 piercing damage. Alright, Banshee is here, ready to go. Destroyer here, ready to go as well. It looks as though the expansion has finally been scouted out. We may be looking at a little bit of pressure here in just a moment as, well, all of these Ents should end up just getting devoured. Yeah, there you go, a quick devour magic. The Destroyer actually looks a little bit healthier as it finishes off all of these units. Death Knight still staying at 5. Lich almost at 5, and that is going to be extremely scary. A level 5 Lich, level 5 Death Knight, level 3 Crypt Lord, 1, 2, 3 hero melting propositions, as anti-magic shell should be used across all of these Crypt Fiends again to stop that Panda and all of that pressure. Armies going to be rebuilt here. Moon sitting at 78 over 80 supply. Let's take a look. Shade quickly getting finished off there. Panda, Bear, 3-3 upgrades on the Bear as well, as Banshees are joining in on the fight. Already going to be going into anti-magic shell, followed by perhaps even a possession on a Druid of the Claw. That could be a big difference. Thank you, Equano, for the follow, as we're taking a look at a handful of units just getting, well, devoured here. All right. army sizes here. Triple or double Ancient of Wars, double Ancient Protectors. Too difficult to fight here. Let's take a look. Crypt Lord now going to get into position. Let's take a look. Devour. There was an Impale there. Quick. You couldn't quite see them into the air. Panda, Breath of Fire, does absolutely nothing. Panda now trying to get away. An item transfer between the two, as the Crypt Lord, well, is still right there. Crypt Lord could take a Death Coil to try and stay alive, and it does take that Death Coil to stay alive. Meanwhile, let's take a look. Crypt Fiends are in the back here. Panda trying to put on pressure. Panda sitting at 363 hit points. Staff of Preservation saves it. Crypt Lord gets saved again. Crypt Lord does have a lot of bonus armor at this stage, as you're going to see bears now getting destroyed up in that front line. All right, Staff of Teleportation coming back in. We're going to be looking at a Panda. Panda, Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire, and all of a sudden that damage from that unit is going to be some problems. There goes an Abomination, low on hit points, as units are getting finished off left and right. 90 supply compared to 76. Moon finally spending all of his gold to get a decent size army advantage here, as the Hippogriffs are just diving on into the destroyers. Squirrel of Town Portal on the Crypt Lord in order to get away. Are we going to see any more deaths of any big units? No, we are not, as Moon finally spending his additional gold. If you are going to be in the highest tax bracket, might as well max out on supply, as the Ents are going to make their way over here to try and, well, slow things up. Wisp looking to build a Tree of Life over here on the bottom left-hand side. Necropolis is now done. Ziggurat is going to be done here in just a moment. Anti-magic shell across multiple units. A big army, or a decent-sized army advantage for Moon at this point. 90 compared to 79. As we're looking at, well, there goes a Wisp now. Let's take a look back around, trying to heal back up so many of these Obsidian mana. Not much can be done for them. Meanwhile, the Death Knight with level 2 Unholy Aura, yeah, and Vampiric Aura. Well, level 2 Unholy Aura is the only thing that's really healing these Obsidian statues right now. Dark Ranger ready to just dive on in. A couple of webs. Here we go. Crypt Lord is in position. Units are all trying to turn back around. Are we going to perhaps see some more heals? Crypt Lord is going to be back into a corner. WFZ is going to be able to save those units, trying to get back into that front line. Death Knight is in trouble. Scroll of Town Portal not used. And with the Death Knight gone, Moon sitting at 97 supply should be able to finish off WFZ. And there you have it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it. All right, that will be it. Thanks for watching.